Today on Music Day, we've met in the basement. Our general message was as much goodness, love and understanding as possible. From the very beginning, people told us your music is so movie-like. It's like a ready-made soundtrack. Hi, we're the Ptakh Jung band. Let's spend some time together. Ptakh Jung is a modern Ukrainian duo of musicians that work together with composers Anton Dehtiarov and Volodymyr Babushkin, who are well known for creating and performing music for the new Ukrainian film industry. They're known for writing brilliant soundtracks for more than 10 movies. The duo combines contemporary classical, ambient, grunge, noise, and electronic music styles. Their works can fairly be called the most contemporary classical music. We met in a basement. It was a space in which the veranda band rehearsed. Volodya was a part of the band back then. It was basically his band. They took me as a keyboardist. Yes, I met him at the filming. Back then I was working in production as assistant director, and there I met Andrei Nedoroba, who was actually the co-founder of Veranda. So he was like, oh, a keyboardist. We got talking, and he said after a while, let's go to our rehearsal space. I will introduce you to the guys and hopefully you will play with us. I went with him to the rehearsal studio, and that's actually how I met the members of the band, including Volodya. Many years have passed since then. Maybe 5 years, I think. Then the band once again stopped playing. And all the members were scattered and engaged in their own business. I went my own way. Volodya went on his own way. And the guys in the band had their own business to take care of. After a while, I reconnected with Volodya, but we were just friends spending time together. We would go to some parties and just hang out together. At that time, I started working on my own solo electronic project, while Volodya started creating his own solo projects. A while later, they became the basis of the compositions of Ptakh Jung. And then we had an idea. Listen, let's grab a guitar, here's a keyboard, and let's just jam together and play the music that we like. It wasn't like this, let's play punk rock. We were just playing whatever came to our minds. I think that this is how Ptakh Jung came to be. Both of us got some very strong impressions from My Bloody Valentine and Swans, especially Swans.
My Bloody Valentine and Swans, особливо Swans.
They had some kind of musical, linguistic influences. I remember how Anton suggested that I listen to My Bloody Valentine, and I was just sitting there, listening, and felt like I was melting. At first, I couldn't even understand the essence of the song. This so-called noise genre brought us together. It's wonderful when elements from noise flow into cool, beautiful, and crisp melodies and rhythms. So clearly this was the moment that brought us together. Our general message was to convey in our music as much goodness, love and understanding as possible. We both greatly appreciate many compositions of classical art music. In particular, we like the music that was created at the turn of the 19th to 20th centuries. More specifically, that which brilliant French Impressionists as well as their contemporaries created in other countries. Movie or performance? Performance. The movie. Song without words or a sleepless night? Sleepless night. A song without words. Grunge or electronic? Electronic grunge. Electronic. Why do stars and planets have a round shape rather than square? Round ones have better aerodynamics.
У круглих.
Mental agility or youth of soul? A combination of both. That's a great thing.
Супер.
Youth of soul. Favorite film for which you wrote a soundtrack for? Man and Monkey. No obvious signs. The best and worst purchases you've ever made. Turbo chewing gums in 1990. These were the best and the worst.
Ну і потім я зрозумів, що це найгірше.
The worst is my mobile phone, and the best is my stage instrument.
Найкраще це мій сценічний інструмент.
Which Ukrainian bands do you like? Один в каное, Love and Joy, Димна суміш, Людська подоба.
Суміш колись. Людська подоба.
In electronic music, I like Kaloa. The music of the band Love and Joy made a very strong impression on me.
Попросили нас, можете написати.
We were asked, can you write some music? From the very beginning, people told us, your music is so movie-like. It's like a ready-made soundtrack, and it sounded exactly like that.
Ну, воно і так і виглядало.
It's amazing that listeners find it cool to imagine some movie accompanied by our music.
Якісь кіно під нашу музику.
Well, since there is a precedent with a movie, let's write something new. Invisible Battalion, no obvious signs. We also did some work on a silent film produced at the Alexander Dovzhenko Center, which organizes festival nights. It was a brilliant film that was created by Andrei Vinitsky titled Man and Monkey. That was really cool. They gave us a film and didn't interfere for even a second. And we made 1 hour 10 minutes.
І ми зробили це там година 20, да?
Ні, година 10.
Година 10 фільм.
We made it and it was appreciated.
Дякуємо. Плануємо випускати.
We're planning to release 2 albums. An old one and a new one. We released an album, but it turned out to be a mini album. So we're left with no choice but to release a full-fledged LP-sized album. We've accumulated quite a number of compositions during the time that we have been performing. There are those that we've never released and are not on the internet. In addition, over the past year, we stocked up some new instruments and can say that the sound has changed quite a bit from that of 2 years ago. We don't want to gather this all up into the same pile, since those are entirely different periods. They're totally different in terms of mood, and perhaps even their composition. So I think it will be wise and fair to divide the compositions into 2 albums. Zhenya is great. She arranged everything so we could go on our first tour.
Перший раз у нас був тур.
Женя – це менеджер наш.
Zhenya is our manager.
Поїхали ми.
On our first tour, we went to Ljubljana, Budapest, and Bratislava.
Будапешт,
Братислава.
And then it just so happened that we went on mini tours with 3 performances in each. And it became even cooler when we started playing in Ukrainian cities.
Українські міста. Наприклад,
For example, our second tour was to Uzhgorod.
спочатку Братислава.
First Bratislava, Vienna, Uzhgorod. A wonderful concert. I was terribly nervous. I was born in Uzhgorod, and it was the first time we performed there. So for me it was the most nerve-wracking Ptakh Jung concert, but it turned out really cool. This is one of those topics Volodya was working on even before we started performing as Ptakh Jung.
Це була одна із тих тем, які Володя робив сам ще до того, як ми почали грати як Ptakh Jung.
And it is one of the things that became a material for our first jam session.
Матеріалом для джему нашого першого.
The name Object came on its own.
Теж назва знайшла річ
because there was a short film festival in Kyiv.
Тому що це був фестиваль короткометражного кіно в Києві.
And at that festival, there was one cool program. In it, the jury selected musicians, gave them a list of short films, and their task was to pick one and write music to it. And we did this with Object, a film produced by Polish film director Paulina Skibinska, which we both liked a lot. We played the song at that festival, recorded it, and Jenny sent it to the film's director. The director was shocked and positively reacted to it. Wow, guys, this is super and really cool, guys. I didn't even know that this was possible. In other words, she really liked the way the music flowed with her film, which had no soundtrack prior to that. So this was another case when we didn't have to rack our brains to name a track. Thanks for being with us in our studio.